Welcome to Blending the Family, the podcast. Topics can range from what is good wine on a first date, parenting tips, and not being afraid to ask for help. Here's your host, who was told by a guest that he was a podcast influencer. Well, you know the truth about that statement. Tommy Maloney.
Welcome to another edition of the podcast known as Blending the Family. I am your host, Tommy Maloney, coming to you from Lexington, Kentucky. A little echoey. Can you hear? Well, I can hear. Can you hear the sirens? A lot of sirens in this area of the hotel. I think there's a hospital nearby. Anyway. Dimension? Lexington, Kentucky. That's where I'm coming from. How the heck are you? You enjoying your treadmill right now? Walking the dog? Maybe you're shoveling snow. Or maybe you're laying on the beach. Or maybe you are trying to fall asleep. This will do it. This will really do it. Well, if this is your first time listening to the podcast, thanks for coming by. Really appreciate it. High five. High five. Excellent. Good high five. You're the best. What the heck? Give yourself a pat on the back. Because you rock. All right. A little miffed. We're going to talk about I'm more than miffed. I'm pissed. I am so fucking pissed off right now. Oh my gosh, I should just mention, hold on, I got to write that down. Yeah, all right. I mentioned where I'm at, Lexington, Kentucky, here for the next 2 weeks. Actually, next week I have an eye appointment. Excited about that. And then in 2 weeks, I don't know if I talked about this yet. In 2 weeks, I am going in for a 2-for-1 deal. Excuse me. An endoscopy and a colonoscopy, all in the same day. My mom said, make sure, I think I did talk about this, if I really think about it. Anyway, my mom mentioned that to make sure they do the endoscopy, which is going through your throat, before they do the colonoscopy. Hopefully they're not using the same camera, as my mom was joking. She's so funny. Last week, my wife Ann and I were attending a charity event, and I ran into somebody I hadn't seen in a while, a good friend of mine named Sean. And Sean thought the podcast was over because I deleted my Facebook page, my personal and Blending the Family's Facebook page. I was just tired of being hacked. I was just tired of too much political bullshit. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm not a fan of Facebook anyway. Wasn't really getting me any really traction. Ironically, I am a fan of Instagram. Blending Family at Instagram and Twitter. Blending Family, Instagram, Twitter. I think we have a Pinterest account. I haven't touched a Pinterest account in ages. But anyway, so I ran into Sean. We're standing around having a couple of adult beverages. And like I said, he was talking about, he hadn't heard any social media from me. And I said, well, I still have the podcast. He's like, you do? I said, yeah, of course I got the podcast still going on. And he was talking about, and I couldn't believe this, but he was talking about how he missed, he wants me to do more of these, of the driving while podcasting. And so I was like, really? He goes, yeah, when you're raw and you were just, telling it how it is. I'm like, oh, okay. So I guess there's a request. Podcasting while driving. We'll have to figure that out because I don't drive that far these days. I fly, but I don't drive that far these days. And then today, I got a call from a good friend of mine who's our voice guy. And so our voice guy and we used to work in radio together. And so he calls me up today. He's like, hey, I can't do Mark's voice. But he's like, I want to do a podcast. You and I, let's do a podcast. And so we're like, okay, what are we going to call it? What are we going to do as far as, all this other stuff? And so when I was driving to the hotel, I was thinking of an idea of what we should call it, and I was like, two old radio guys talking, or two old radio guys that can't shut up, something like that. Anyway, so that's in the future, definitely in the future. All right, let's get to the main point. So the main point, I talked about this recently, that my former wife and her husband bought our son Connor a car for his 16th birthday, and I felt like shit because that's something I can't afford. My wife and I, we can't afford that. We're doing our best with trying to support all three kids and as best we can, and so God bless my former wife and her husband for doing it. But as I had mentioned before, she had never consulted me on this. She never mentioned that she was going to do it. One of my buddies, Aaron, hey Aaron, thanks for listening, buddy, said, if she happens to come, to say, hey, I want you to pay for this, this, or this, dealing with the car, it's like, screw you, you didn't talk to me about it. And so, sorry, that was my work phone going off. So I got an email from the former asking about switching up some weekends because Connor and his friends from his baseball team are going to go to prom. And I'm like, cool, this is awesome. And I needed to bring him home early this coming weekend because they're going to take him suit shopping. Okay, so here's the thing. Getting a car is if, I really like to have been part of that with my son. Suit shopping. I'm like, I'll take him suit shopping, okay? And so I was like really excited. So I emailed her, said, hey, I'll take him suit shopping. So I get an email just a couple nights ago saying, oh, by the way, her husband picked Connor up at school and took him suit shopping. Okay. I keep in my head freaking out going, what is going on here? Because I don't... As a buddy of mine said today when I was expressing some anger about this, he said, hey, at least that's, at least you don't have to pay for it now. I'm like, I get it. That's fine. But I really want to just go and hang with him. And, we could have picked out, different dress shirts, and he's really into bow ties. So I could have got some bow ties for him. And so I was really bummed, pissed is the word. And disappointed that I didn't get this opportunity. So here's what I've been thinking about of lately is that, so let's say you're a bonus dad, and you were in this similar situation where you had to take your bonus child, bonus son, to go get a suit, or something of that nature. Would you consult your wife and say, well, maybe this isn't my area. Maybe, the biological dad should be doing this. Or is this no big deal again? Just like the car. No big deal. Tommy, shut the fuck up. Move on. I think it's a big deal. Because, again, as parents, we want to be at as many moments as possible. The first time our kids are walking, the first time our kids are eating, real food, and you're able to take them to a fast food place just to have that experience. The first time helping them drive, things, the certain milestones. And I think this is one of those milestones that I missed out on. And, maybe if I was a smart person, I would have done this already. I would have said to my wife, Ann, hey, let's look at our budget, can I go take Connor suit shopping? And I should have done it during the hockey season because he's really into, like I was just saying, into ties. So he's one of the few kids on the hockey team that, hold on, let me think about it. I think he's the only kid from the hockey team that would actually dress up and wear a dress shirt, slacks, and a tie. And maybe that's an opportunity I missed out, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's something where that I made a mistake. I regretted not doing something sooner. But I still go back to my original point, and that is these types of milestones, should the bonus parent stay the fuck out? Just a thought. I mean, am I wrong? I don't know. Okay? I'm going to leave it at that. That's all I got, really. Love to hear from you. Just shoot me an email, Tommy@blendingthefamily.com, Tommy@blendingthefamily.com. Like I said, on social media, both Twitter, Instagram, Blending Family. You can find me on LinkedIn too, The Tommy Maloney on LinkedIn. Love to hear from you. Chime in. Love to hear your thoughts about this. About a while back when I talked about the former getting Connor the car. Again, is this like overreaction? Am I overreacting, or am I legit? I think I'm legit, or as MC Hammer would say, too legit to quit. Who? All right. I'm tired. I'm crabby. Super crabby. I think I'm going to go take a shower. And I have to pack to head back home. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. That's all I had written down. All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing. However you get this podcast, please leave a rating and review. Share these episodes, please. I implore you that I'm sure there's a parent out there, even bonus parents that might not have kids, but are in a situation where they might not know better. I think this podcast is good for them. Okay? All right. Lexington, Kentucky this week, next week, and then a week of surgeries. But, before I go, I will be seeing Jeff Dunham in a couple weeks. I'll take some pictures. And post them on the Instagram, where you can find me at Blending Family on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your walking your dog or on the treadmill, or you probably fell asleep anyway.
Thank you for listening to Blending the Family, the podcast. If you come back, you get a 2-for-1 coupon. Woohoo! Daddy.